Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 317, which is absolutely crazy, as we see Onazi getting off a shot right towards the goal. However, I can't say what happens afterwards, as you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, please leave a like and a comment, and subscribe to my other channels down in the description. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. We start by seeing the commentators screaming that with 2 back-to-back goals, the young Japanese team is in the lead. With just 10 minutes left in the first half, can Nigeria make a counter-attack? Or will Japan pull further ahead? Time to battle it out for the last 10 minutes of the first half. And we then see the match starting back up, with Onazi passing the ball to his trusty right hand, Kuso. Kuso gets the ball and thinks that after this it's quite clear to him. He looks serious, as he says that without a doubt, Blue Lock is the strongest team that they have faced, and the source of that strength lies in the 3 guys along the field's center line, Isagi, Karasu, and last but not least, Aiku. He explains that these 3 have high soccer IQ and take a broader view of the game as they calmly use their intellects and logic to analyze their tactics. Then Inotate switches between offense and defense to control the structure of the match. On top of that unshakable foundation are their 2 spears of unfettered imagination and explosive speed, referring to Chigiri and Bachira. After that, they have the unpredictable destructive genius, who of course is Rin. After that, he goes over to the imitative artisan and the cool-headed left-footed passer, who obviously is Hiyori and Ryo. And lastly, at the back line, are 2 contrasting elite defender who couldn't be more unlike each other. And yeah, those are Nico and Aryu. However, he says that the one holding together this hodgepodge of circus freaks is undeniably Isagi. Kuso then passes the ball up on the field while saying that Isagi's skills are born from his brain and adaptability, saying that unless they can crush that ringleader, then Nigeria has no chance of winning. We then see that Onazi was the one who got the ball and traps it pretty coldly, while he looks pretty intense. We then get back into another flashback, where they are still kids, and Bello asks Onazi if he has played soccer before. However, Onazi says that this was his first time. Kuso then smirks and says that he must be a prodigy, and Oboabona in the back is also pretty stunned. However, they ask themselves if they maybe could go pro if they had Onazi. However, we saw Bello telling them to dream bigger and that they might even be able to win the World Cup. Oboabona then adds in that then maybe they can turn this life around and get rich. Kuso says that they obviously can, and that after that, they can buy anything and go anywhere. Oboabona says, like tasty food, and Bello just screams from the side that they can even buy a huge house. Onazi, however, just smiles and tells them that it's not that simple and that going pro is crazy hard. Kuso just looks unbothered and says that it's okay, as they got him, and Oboabona says the same thing, which leaves him a bit confused. We then get back to Kuso, who tells him that it's right and that it's fine as long as he is here. Kuso smiles and says that he feels like he can dream now and that he is sure that Onazi has been chosen by fate, calling him their shining hope. Onazi then says that he is here, which turns into the beginning of his annoying slogan. We then see some articles where Nigeria had beaten a team 6-0. Just a quick side note, but it says Nigeria's new generation. This doesn't mean that Onazi is a new generation World 11, which I saw some people saying. Anyway, we then see them when they won the U20 Africa Cup Championship. And they are all super ecstatic, as Onazi once again screams that he is here. After that, we get back into the game, where we see that there is just 1 minute left on the clock. Kuso is getting ready to pass the ball as he says that it's time to drive it home. He explains that Onazi's weapon is his overwhelming momentum due to his extraordinary heart and lungs, and above all, his natural jumping and flexibility that makes mid-air plays possible. Kuso then passes the ball into the box while having both Karasu and Aryu around him. Anyway, Kuso says that the greatest reason why Onazi is a striker is that his ability to shoot in mid-air effectively doubles his shooting area, which we see now as he is in the air and is getting ready to shoot away the ball while having both Aiku and Isagi around him. Isagi looks at him and Onazi, then tells him that he has surpassed him. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? After that, we get to Gagamaru, who looks super pumped up as he tells Onazi to just bring it on. After that, we get into a bit of a flashback to Igo's letter, where he had told Gagamaru that he is still just using his talent to fight, telling him to acquire a goalkeeper's body by undergoing some special batting training. After that, we see him in a field where he is getting baseballs launched towards him, which he is supposed to catch. Gagamaru says that baseballs are faster and smaller than soccer balls, so this will hone his reaction speed, which we see as he is able to catch one of the baseballs. After that, he thinks that he feels like his eyes and body are moving 1.5 times faster, and that once he grabs it, he needs to return to the middle. Also, a quick side note, it is Ryo's dad's business that is behind the ball launchers, which is kinda funny. Anyway, Gagamaru tells himself not to just use his head, but instead to learn it with his body. We then get back into the game where Kuso screams at Onazi to go and calls him their shining hope, as Onazi is able to shoot away the ball towards the goal, and he has a smirk on his face. Gagamaru even compliments the shot and admits that it is nice. He says that its trajectory is tilting upwards. However, his body is moving on its own. Gagamaru says that actually the ball's moving slower than the baseballs and that this puny shot can't slip past him. He then jumps and is actually able to block the shot as he says that he is Japan's guardian deity, which is, firstly, just so cool. Like, honestly, wow. But we also see Onazi, who is in shock by this. Meanwhile, Isagi smiles, and just then, the referee blows his whistle, which means that the first half is over. The crowd goes nuts, and Gagamaru says that he has got this on lock, and we then leave the first half with Blue Lock leading with 2 goals. We also see Kuzo, who looks just lost. He probably didn't expect Blue Lock to also have an insane goalkeeper on top of their insane other players. Now I'm happy to announce that there is no break next week, so this insane match just keeps on going, and we also have the title, which is I'm Here. Now this can mean a lot of things. The most likely one is that it is about the Nigerian team, that is what Onazi always says. However, it might also be something with Isagi, who, as they are going into the changing room, tells Onazi that exact line, which makes him annoyed, or it can be about Gagamaru, he was there now and saved the goal. However, please let me know what you guys think. My bets are on the Nigerian team though, and it being something with them. Anyway, let's talk about this madness of a chapter. Let's start with Kuso. Now, I don't mean to dog him too much, but it's so annoying as he always says that he has figured out Blue Lock, but then they do something that leaves him shocked. Like honestly, just say that you don't understand how much of an insane team they are. But in reality, he isn't too annoying. I just feel a bit bad about Onazi though, as it's like he is playing 1 versus 11, as he is the only one in his team against the whole of Blue Lock, which I guess, is somewhat of their playstyle, but still, someone has to give him a hand soon, as he can't keep doing everything by himself. Now on to something more fun to talk about, which is the GOAT Gagamaru, who got an awesome save. Honestly, I just have to say it, but I'm always way more hyped about a Gagamaru save than any goal. It just feels so much more special and impactful when we get to see Gagamaru in play, as it is easy to kind of forget about him mid-game, as we don't really see him that much, but that's why this made me really happy. We also got a super cool ending pose in the last panel, as he looked pretty cold. Now the next chapter I feel like will be interesting. We will most likely get into the changing room and see them discuss the first half and what to do next. Now I do kind of smell a substitution coming, however, I'm also unsure. The best thing to do right now would be to go into a more defensive formation with more defensive players. However, this is Blue Lock after all, so I doubt that they will do something like that. However, as they are leading this game, I doubt that some joker will come into the field like Baru or Shidu for example. Anyway, I just can't wait for the next chapter, as I'm sure that we will get to see them celebrating a bit. It's dangerous to celebrate too early. However, I'm sure that we will see some of them smiling at least. But anyway, let me know what you guys think will happen, and also what you thought about this chapter, and not to mention this awesome save by Gagamaru. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel. And while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.